Hi, it's Amy Simpson from Breathe, Believe, Achieve, and I wanted to talk about emotions, particularly when we're experiencing that our emotions are kind of seesawing between having a meltdown, so feeling very, very emotional, or rage. And when our emotions seem to flip between those two, there doesn't appear to be anywhere in between. I've spoken to a couple of people this week who that's exactly how they're feeling. They feel like either they've become this incredibly emotional person where maybe yes they would have been emotional, they could be emotional, but it would take a lot, whereas at this particular moment they're saying I could cry at the drop of a hat, or they're experiencing that sense of tears but then just rage, just this anger that is so unlike them. And it's really, really common, particularly when we are maybe not really working through our emotions. And by that I mean that we all have a tendency to, none of us like feeling the difficult emotions. None of us enjoy feeling stressed or feeling scared or feeling worried or feeling overwhelmed or feeling angry. They are emotions that possibly from a very young age we've learned are bad. Like it's bad to be angry, it's bad to be, we don't want to be sad. If you look at all of the information that's out there around social media about that sense of, everybody talks about that kind of happiness. People post information that's about actually when they're having a good day, when life feels to be going well. So we tend to only post a very one-sided view of emotions. And in reality, all emotions are temporary. All the good emotions are temporary as well. So that sense of feeling calm or feeling happy or feeling relaxed, all of those are temporary. Those emotions will come and go, as are the stronger emotions. But what tends to be the difference is when we feel relaxed, when we feel calm, when we're having fun, we tend to enjoy feeling those emotions. So we really notice them, we allow those emotions to be here. But anything that's a bit more difficult, anything around feeling worried, feeling scared, feeling anxious, we tend to kind of push that somewhere. So we push it, we kind of put it over here, or we push it down into the body. So we kind of just try and ignore it and try and kid on it's not here. And that tactic can work for a little while. It can work, often people keep very busy, so they don't have time to think about it. They might notice that they feel anxious and they feel it physically in their body, so they might feel that tension in their chest, they might feel that knot in their stomach. Somebody I was speaking to earlier this week said to me, I've got like a Whirlpool washing machine in my stomach and it just is like on high spin. So either, and he said, all I do is I just keep busy, because, and this is where I think a lot of people, because if I slow down, then I get really emotional and I don't like how that feels. And he spoke about an incident where somebody actually had been really nice to him and just asked him how he was, and he was mortified because he had burst into tears. We were talking about it just kind of to the sense of really understanding that if you think about that, I always think of emotions a little bit like a pressure gauge. So that emotion, that pressure is just building and building and building. And every so often, every time we felt worried or anxious, we've pushed it down. So it's kind of like a bit of a spring, a coiled spring, we've pushed it down again. And then something else happens and that feeling was, because it was there for a reason. It's there for, all emotions are valid. All emotions are there for a reason. So it comes back just to remind us, remember, this is the thing that I was trying to get your attention about. And again, we feel it and we squash it, and we squash it and we squash it and we squash it. And we squash it to the point that it's we're just able to keep it under the surface. And that's hard work, because often trying to keep all of that emotion in and pushing it down, we're either going really fast or we're trying to do the best job in kidding on that everything's okay when it's not. And what generally happens either is somebody is really nice to us, and for that split moment the body just relaxes, and it's like the body sees that as his opportunity just to release. and it allows the body to have this emotional release of all of this tension that's been building and building and building and building. So it can come out in this really emotional response, or it tends to come out in the other way, like you might go home and maybe somebody hasn't put the dishes in the dishwasher, or somebody's left the milk out, or somebody at home happens to breathe in the wrong way, and it just, like, again, the body is desperate for that release, so it just comes out in the sense of rage, and we shout, we lose our temper over something that seems really, really insignificant. And it generally has nothing to do with whatever it is that's triggered that. It's just because the body is exhausted. It's so tired trying to hold on to it. And the real challenge with both of these extremes of emotion is either we become very, very emotional and it's not like us, so we then have the next emotion that comes after that is feeling embarrassed or shame about what will people think of me, why did now that I'm bursting into tears, they'll think I can't cope. So again, that just layers all of that pressure back on. Or we've just verbally ripped somebody's head off for absolutely nothing, because of everything that's, and then so either we've let rip on somebody, and then the emotion that comes after that is guilt, because we start to think, I'm a terrible person. Why on earth did I take it out on whoever that was? And those extremes are just that sign of the body just working so hard, all of that pressure, all of that emotion just building. And so the body just needs a release. So it finds a release in either way. So they're perfectly normal, but a very, very easy indicator of just how high our stress is. So if you're noticing that you're feeling very emotional, or you're all of a sudden have this anger and you feel like you've turned into this angry person, which is so unlike you, it's an indication that you really need to do something just to help the body to find that balance again. And that's why we do like we talked in another video, I was talking about the importance of movement. So that's why we move the body, because we help the body get rid of all of that adrenaline, all of that cortisol that's building up in the body. It's why we so things like yoga, running, walking, doing like a workout, all of that is really good. Or we use practices like mindfulness, or just a simple breathing practice. You could use anything that's just helping you switch off. So I suppose things that are available to you right now is you can come and join me on the Create and Calm afternoon sessions on a Wednesday and a Friday at 4 o'clock. Again, they're just good ways of checking in, just noticing how you're feeling, and just developing some tools that you can use. There is also the options of, if you're really struggling with that, to remember that there is some one-to-one sessions that you could access. So seeing that as an indication of the body just being exhausted, and it's almost pleading with you to help to either work through that emotion. So please get the support that you need if that's you.